get paid enough for this?
Do any of y'all remember this woman? If you're a longtime viewer of the channel, you probably remember this certified hood classic of a video I made almost 2 years ago now about Sophia Rosing. She's a former University of Kentucky student who berated this poor desk clerk on campus with both acts of violence and a plethora of racial slurs to accompany them. It was pretty wild, man, and I think this is the video that started getting this channel some traction. I think I had less than 100 subs at the time, so time really does fly. But anyway, she's back in the headlines as there have been both new developments in her ongoing saga of racism and newly discovered info that expose just how terrible of a human being she is. And I figured we could talk about it today. So sit back, pack a lip full of Copenhagen, unveil your Confederate flags, and embark on a journey as we jump back into the drama surrounding this bigoted, yee-yee looking ass woman. I'm sure it'll be oh so educational, as always. Prison looms for racist student after admitting to singing the N-word 200 times at black staffer. So first and foremost, this article title is a little misleading because she did a hell of a lot more than that, which we'll get into in a second, but yeah, she's looking at potential prison time over this, which is just absolutely insane. But what's even more insane than the possibility for prison time is the number of times she supposedly said the N-word. You know, don't think I didn't see that, man. 200 times? Jesus Christ, we going for a world record or something? I believe these are unprecedented levels of racism here. She may be the racism final boss, no cap. How is it even possible to be filled with so much hate? And I guess she didn't just say the words, she was singing them. What does that even mean? Was she like, la 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 la, me, 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 me? Bitch thought she was up on stage wooing the crowd like she was on America's Got Intolerance or something. And it's just so wild how she thought nothing would come from all this. Did she not realize the internet exists? And does she not realize that the internet don't mess around? You know, news travels pretty fast. You know, even the masked singer gets revealed in the end. Alright, I gotta chill with the singing jokes. But even back then, it floored me just how fast she ruined her whole life. You know, think about it. Constant hate online. You've got countless national news outlets covering her story. She's got permanently expelled from her university, and now fast forward to yesterday, she's now potentially looking at prison time. How does one even recover from something like this? I don't know, but anyways, I am rambling at this point. Let's continue with the article. Actually, nah, side note here, before we actually do that, the article was written by a man by the name of Dominic Yeatman for dailymail.com, and I just gotta say, that's pretty epic, pretty cool, pretty based. I mean, Yeatman, you know, this Dominic dude just yeeted us the most fire article we're about to cover ever. But yeah, the fire article in question starts by saying, prosecutors have demanded a year in jail and 100 hours of community service for a University of Kentucky student who assaulted staff and police officers during a prolonged tirade of racist abuse. Former business and marketing major Sophia Rosing, 23, called a young female desk clerk the N-word 200 times as she stumbled drunkenly towards her dorm in November 2022. So I actually didn't know she was a former business and marketing major. I think that's kind of ironic if you think about it, because this is the worst form of self-marketing she could have ever done, but I digress there. She was still yelling it as she was led away by police officers she had bitten, kicked, and informed of her wealth as they tried to restrain her. She pleaded guilty on Monday to 6 counts, including 4 of assault, after they were amended to 4th-degree minor injury as part of a plea deal. I told her that she didn't break my spirit, desk clerk Kyla Springs said after the hearing. That was one of the things I said the first time I ever spoke about what happened, and that rings true today. So yeah, there are some people here that take that stumbled drunkenly towards her dorm bit and try to excuse her behavior for that, which I think is a little insane. I think that's pretty ignorant thinking. You know, obviously, as the old saying goes, you know, drunk words are sober thoughts. But not only that, but it's come on, man, 200 times saying the N-word and you're assaulting people, and yet I'm supposed to sit back and believe, you know, free my girl, you know, she's innocent, you know, everyone deserves second chances, blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. And I do want to point out how shitty the American justice system is here. So she pleaded guilty on Monday to 6 counts, including 4 of assault, and they get amended to 4th-degree minor injury as part of a plea deal. So essentially, you know, she takes a little deal, you know, if you admit to doing wrong, you know, even though we already know what she did because it's all caught on 4K and camera, if you admit it, you know, we'll lower the charges and you'll get off a little bit easier. I think that's such a weird concept. It's like, I thought people had to face the consequences, you know, I thought people had to face the music when they fuck up and learn a lesson. I feel like this doesn't really teach people anything. But get this is where even more new information comes out. So she was suspended by the university within hours of the incident and permanently banned from campus 3 days later. It later emerged that she allegedly doxed a 15-year-old girl while they were at high school together, publicly posting that she would send nudes and falsely claimed she had an abortion. So Jesus Christ, man, like, I get it, you know, high school, you know, it's jam-packed with a bunch of immature children that are trying to get a subpar education. I get all of that, you know, I obviously get when it comes to like young girls and the drama and all that, it's pretty balls to the wall, anything goes, not a whole lot of morality a lot of the time, but like, this is disgusting, man. We're talking a 15-year-old girl, you know, talking about in a sexual manner, like, that's gross. Why is she talking about a girl like this? This is just weird. And then falsely claiming she had an abortion, like, that is just so disgusting to be talking about anyone in that regard so maliciously, especially a young child, you know, a little girl, like, ugh, fucking gross. And here's what Miss Rosing's attorney had to say about this, you know, her knight in shining armor. Rosing's attorney, Fred Peters, told Lex 18 that his client has since stopped drinking. And can I just say, man, thank God for that. I mean, this woman doesn't need any more vodka crayons, you know what I'm saying? Like, she had probably, what, 2, maybe 3 drinks that evening and was conducting herself like this. Like, some people just can't fucking handle their liquor, you know what I'm saying? Racist little blonde women will get 1 White Claw in their system and not know how to conduct themselves, because that's what really started all of this, was the alcohol. Like, sure, I'm not like one of those people that are saying, oh, you know, she was drunk so she gets a pass. That's not what I'm saying. Because after all, you know, alcohol doesn't make people racist. People do. Damn, bars. But nah, this could have all been avoided had she not been sloshed like a Sonic slushie. I personally think that this is a good thing. You know, we don't need any more drunken little freaks causing mayhem and whatnot. And I'm surprised this wasn't like a condition in her plea deal or something, truthfully. You know, like, hey, you know, we'll lower the charges if you get into some Alcoholics Anonymous type shit or something. But additionally here, she's extremely remorseful, he added. She had a lot of time to think about what she has done, and she wrote a nice letter of apology. But Spring said Rosing did not address her behavior in court, and she remains unconvinced of her remorse. And I kind of have to agree with that, because if you recall her initial indictment back in early 2023, she actually pleaded not guilty, right? It says here, in February 2023, Rosing was indicted by a Fayette County grand jury on all 6 charges she initially faced, including assault and felony assault of a police officer, and she pleaded not guilty. So I'm supposed to sit here and believe that she's remorseful, she's had all this time to think, you know, she's a new and improved Sophia Rosing, right? I'm supposed to believe all that when initially she didn't even genuinely believe she committed the crimes that were again caught on camera in 4K. Like, come on, you know, being remorseful and feeling guilty for what you've done, you know, it all starts with actually admitting you did what you're being accused of doing, right? Like, how can you be so self-unaware? How can you genuinely feel that you were in the right in this situation? And then get a load of this, we gotta talk about this too. So at the time, Peters, her attorney, announced that Rosing would be withdrawing from the college. That's not true at all. I don't know who the fuck wrote this, but she did not withdraw. She was expelled. She's a very, very embarrassed and humiliated young lady. Oh, you know, womp womp, boo-hoo. Oh no! Anyway, you know, where's my smallest violin in the world? He told NBC News, adding that he would get her, quote, into some kind of treatment program and sensitivity program to help her through the situation. So I guess that's something that he allegedly did. We have no proof of that. But again, it should have been one of the conditions of her plea deal, and it wasn't. And so I'm sick and tired of like this narrative that some people are trying to spin where like she's the victim of all this, right? You know, this Kyla Springs lady, you know, this poor, I think she was like 19 years old at the time. She's just trying to work her minimum wage job at the University of Kentucky, the Bluegrass State. And she's getting verbally assaulted and physically assaulted too, might I add, from this racist young lady that walks in. And somehow she's not the victim. No, the young lady that's, you know, extremely embarrassed and humiliated by all this, you know, she's the real victim. Like, why are we trying to paint her out to be some sort of victim here when she's obviously done some pretty shitty things and she deserves all the consequences she's facing? And if somehow you're still not convinced that she's not remorseful, go ahead and take a look at her Instagram page here. So it says, Sophia Rosing, I'm rich, you're not. University of Kentucky Marketing and MAT, blah, 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 all these fucking links and whatnot, including a change.org link that is still active where apparently you can donate money to her cause for a second chance, bro. Like, what the fuck am I seeing, man? This is fucking wild. And people are still gonna somehow believe that this girl is remorseful for everything she's done. And that whole I'm rich, you're not, if you're not familiar with what that means, is she was outed and got a lot of attention when she had a video go viral of her basically grilling this dude for being broke, you know, making fun of his outfit and what he was wearing and talking about how she has all this fucking money, right?
Guess what? I'm rich as fuck and you're obviously not compared to what you're wearing, and I can sue you and you can't do shit about it, especially because you don't know my fucking last name, but I know goddamn well who you are.
Well, newsflash, she really fucking doesn't, because like I said in my last video, man, if you're so rich, you know, why can't y'all afford to get braces? You know, you out here talking like you have a fucking lisp, like you're fucking Sid from Ice Age. And I'm not poor bashing here, but this is a picture of her house that she grew up in. You know, like I said, I'm not poor bashing, you know, nothing wrong with a small, humble home. But the aura she's giving off, you know, the vibe she's giving off, she out here talking like she grew up in a fucking mansion with like 10 bedrooms, 6 different cars, and all sorts of rich people shit, you know what I'm saying? When in reality, she's just like the rest of us. But just to finish up the video here, I think her admitting at least a piece of what she's done, admitting the things she said and being able to own up to them, I think it's going to follow behind. Seeing yourself act in that light is not an easy thing to see, I imagine, so I guess there's still a bit of maturing and unpacking she needs to do with that, so I'll give her the space to do that. I forgive her more so from myself, she added. I was raised not to hold grudges. I was raised that we give people forgiveness because God forgave us. Rosing will return to Fayette County Circuit Court on October 17th for sentencing. So I just want to once again, like kind of like in my first video, commend her for the way she conducted herself. You know, I would have gone fucking ballistic if someone was doing that shit to me, but she kept her cool, and honestly, she deserves all the justice that she's getting, and I definitely look forward to that court hearing to see what will happen. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But what did we learn today, guys? Don't be a racist piece of shit. What the fuck, man? But that's pretty much it for the video, man. If you enjoyed, leave a like, rating, subscribe to the channel for more commentaries just like this. Leave a comment down below. I would love to hear what y'all have to say about all this. And also, might I add, don't fucking say I can fix her in my comments. Y'all are fucking horny bastards, bro. Y'all are too crazy sometimes in there. But yeah, we'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm done yapping for now.